From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSP TV and the Standard Speaker.
It was a murder which shocked the community. Now witnesses have placed the suspect at the scene with a gun in his hand. A Hazleton man facing a homicide trial. Our top story on News 13 for this Thursday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. A Hazleton man charged in the death of 19-year-old Angel Villalobos will held to trial on account of murder. 20-year-old Adamas Arias faced his preliminary hearing yesterday in the shooting of Villalobos on West Maple Street in Hazleton back in February. Chilling testimony came from Arias' former girlfriend who was in the car with him as he drove down West Maple. She said as they were driving, Arias stopped once, got out of the car and had an argument with people on the sidewalk about money. She said he got back in the car, drove a short distance, and got out again. That's when she heard shots, saw people running, and crouched down inside the car. When Arias got in the car, she said he had shell casings in his hand. And when she asked him if he'd shot someone, he said maybe. Another witness who was wounded in the shooting said he saw Arias get out of the car holding a revolver. District Judge Joseph Zola remanded Arias to the county prison. A date will be set for his formal court arraignment. Luzerne County Coroner's Office has determined that the death of an 85-year-old woman at a nursing home in Weatherly is a case of homicide. Margaret Lechtleitner lived at the Weatherwood Nursing Home. An autopsy determined that she was allegedly pushed and then fell and struck her head on April 20th. She died 6 hours later at Hazleton General Hospital. The autopsy revealed that the cause of death was subdural hematoma due to the fall from being pushed. And that determination means her death is ruled a homicide. The nursing home isn't commenting on the ruling. Weatherly Police and the Carbon County District Attorney are continuing the investigation into the woman's death. In Luzerne County alone, 53 people have committed suicide this year. 4 of those victims are area teenagers. That's why Hazleton area holds a walk every year to help create awareness. Christina Papa went to the track today to find out how the school is helping stop the silence.
Samantha Neiman's 13-year-old son had the world at his fingertips.
He was a great kid. He was your normal 13-year-old student. He was involved in sports. He was very intelligent. He was very sociable.
But the teenager had a secret he didn't share with his parents. He was depressed, and in 2007, Samantha's son took his own life.
I lost my 13-year-old son to suicide, which, of course, forever, changed the lives of my family.
Now Samantha's devoted herself to helping others reach out before it's too late.
Trying to bring awareness and education, to others, and hoping that, not to have them to experience the same.
This Sunday, Samantha will be walking along with hundreds of others at the high school track in hopes of stopping the silence. And they'll start their move towards suicide prevention here at the track, but participants will journey off the track for a 3-mile walk around the area. High school senior Paul Lehman knows lending a helping hand can make all the difference.
It's a big deal. They need someone to go to and talk to. They need help, and there is someone willing to listen to them.
Alyssa Blasco is also excited about the event. She says the walk won't be all tears. There will be music, tricky trays, and other activities for the entire community.
It's going to be a very big, happy event, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We have lots of stuff going on. We have hair braiding, face painting for little kids. It's just going to be a lot of fun and very inspirational.
The walk begins at noon on Sunday at the Hazleton Area High School track. Registration begins at 11. Again, Samantha invites the entire community to this free event to help stop the silence and support suicide prevention. Christina Papa, News 13, Hazleton.
And students from Hazleton High School are helping in more than one way. Classrooms have been collecting pennies for patients. Today, the class that raised the most celebrated with a pizza party. Mr. Pelch's room raised $500 during the month of April for leukemia and lymphoma, as well as for the Cancer Society. The class posed for a picture with the Key Club before sitting down to dive into their pizza. Classrooms began collecting change in early April with the help from the Key Club. It made for a combination of learning and helping.
Mr. Petch's class was thrilled. They got on board. They were so excited. They had jugs of change. They were counting the money. They were learning to keep a spreadsheet that, added up their money, and they were really, really proud and excited to be a part of this.
We do this thing at our school where every last period class gets little jars and stuff, and everyone puts in change and money, and we collect money for Pennies for Patients and the American Cancer Society. They were really excited about this. They learned how to count money and everything, just to count all the money they collected for Pennies for Patients.
The Key Club sponsored the party for the winning class today. The students hope to hold another penny drive in the future. Well, what if Jim Thorpe is no longer buried in Jim Thorpe? A judge ruled that his relatives could move his remains to Oklahoma. As Stephanie Gorney reports, borough residents met last night to figure out what to do about it.
The people of Jim Thorpe have found themselves in an unusual situation. What to do with the remains of the Olympic legend, who is the borough's namesake and is laid to rest there. A judge in Pennsylvania ruled in April that Thorpe's two sons from his second family should have the right to transport their father's remains to the Native American land in Oklahoma.
It's really unique in that essentially they're saying that the federal government and an Indian tribe can overrule a family decision. It's been the position of the borough of Jim Thorpe. All three families should have to agree on whatever happens. That's not happening here.
So, the borough held a meeting Wednesday evening so residents could get the latest information on the legal ruling and find out their options.
I'm just trying to figure out why they're tampering with a grave site that would be obviously against the Catholics, which he was Catholic. It would be against the Native Americans, which they're not in favor of this.
Residents packed the borough hall. Some hope that the remains will stay undisturbed and in Jim Thorpe, where they think he belongs. That includes a group of students who are very passionate about Thorpe staying in the town.
60 years ago, two independent towns merged into one under the banner of Mr. Jim Thorpe's memory. Our town has not exploited his name, but rather we have honored and kept his memory alive.
Ray Brader has lived in Jim Thorpe for 13 years. He has some ideas about ways to alleviate the legal costs down the road.
I think it's something that we as a borough and the businesses of the borough can put together some golf tournaments and some other kind of fundraisers in order to help offset the cost of the legal fees.
The Borough Council says it will have a decision on how to handle the legal situation at its meeting next Thursday. Stephanie Gorney, News 13, Jim Thorpe.
And still ahead on News 13, let the springtime roll. We'll have a weekend forecast just perfect for getting outside at News 13 weather. But first, Friday is going to be a spectacular day, and what better way to spend it than on the golf course, raising money for a good cause. We'll show you how you can do that when News 13 continues. Pottsville Area High School just got graded and passed with an A+. U.S. News & World Report ranked it among the best in the nation for student learning. As Matthew Petrillo tells us, it's the top local standout in the national ranking.
Students at Pottsville Area High School say they're proud to be known as hard workers.
Pottsville always has a very high standard of excellence.
There's a lot of really hardworking kids here.
Married Casey will be attending the University of Pittsburgh in the fall and says it's okay to be a nerd here.
Yeah, there's a lot of nerds that I know.
U.S. News reviewed about 21,000 public schools across the country, including 700 here in Pennsylvania. The report honored Pottsville High School with the bronze medal due to its college readiness program. It's rated as the very best in the region, which is no surprise to post-secondary counselor Ellen King.
I'm very grateful that at least, we have a good course selection here.
In particular, she says the school's advanced placement, or AP classes, gave the school a boost in the ranking. The college-level courses are more challenging than regular courses at the school, but that's not scaring them away.
Kind of like what I like about all the AP courses we have is you can kind of take a bunch and kind of get a taste for different stuff.
She's taking AP Law, English, and others. And other students are getting more interested too. The 2010-2011 school year shows almost 120 students enrolled in AP courses. The current school year shows an extra 100 students added onto it. To meet the growing demand, the school created more AP options.
70% of our students will be attending college.
Principal Tiffany Reedy says the school aims to prepare all students for whatever they choose to pursue after graduation, but she stresses AP classes can really help.
The advanced training is the important component to be successful in a global economy that we're currently in.
And in a time of smaller resources, and while other schools across the country are closing or slimming down curriculums, students at Pottsville High School are proud their class options are expanding. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Pottsville.
That's one good report card there. Well, time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Checking the radar. Nothing really to see here, just a little ground reflection, and that clears the way for plenty of sunshine. Our creative condition perfect for a day like today. It's by Jace Chernesky, a first grader at Valley Elementary, and it's all about playing outside in the beautiful sunshine. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazleton. Tonight, increasing clouds, low still down to 38 degrees. Then Friday, sunny with a beautiful day, high near 61, clear at night, low around 45. Heading over to Schuylkill County for tonight, partly cloudy with the low down to 44 degrees. And for Friday, mostly sunny, a beautiful high of 65, partly cloudy at night with a low around 41 degrees. Well, do you like to play golf? Do you want to help make a difference in our region? Well, then our own Janine Mazurkevich has some information about a fun event happening tomorrow, and you're invited.
So we're one day away, and we're hoping for great weather like today. We're here at Sand Springs, and the Making a Difference 4th annual golf tournament will be taking place. We're with Johnny Shima, and what do we have good going on? Because every year you help me out with this, so this year is going to be bigger and better than ever.
Well, I think the best thing we have is the best day of the week is going to be the weather.
Yes.
The weather's going to be awesome. There's still some room for tee times to come out for some more players, so you can pay the day of the event. You can come down, stop in, and pay. If you haven't registered yet, give us a call here at 788-5845, extension 3. We can get you out for this awesome tournament.
And we are accepting golfers that day, so you can come, bring your registration. I know some people have been calling me direct, 956-3393. We are still, as Johnny said, accepting golfers. But not only do we have golfers this year, we have entertainment provided, and we have great sponsors. We have lunch on Boyer, so we have your guys coming out at the grill and grilling up some good food. And you know, each and every year Sand Springs hosts this event for Making a Difference, but you guys do this all year round for fundraising events such as Making a Difference.
Right. You know, we do a lot of tournaments for fundraisers. We have 103 tournaments booked this year. We try to give back to everybody. They come and support us. We try to make sure we give right back to every fundraiser or anything that's going on. So hopefully you'll come out, help the Cancer Society, help the Making a Difference tournament, and hopefully we'll see you on Friday.
It's always a good time, and if you could just pan down, he made me take my shoes off, folks. Okay, this is how serious we are about this tournament, but it's a lot of fun. Just don't wear heels, girls. You know, I like to wear heels, and he doesn't allow it on the golf course, so we won't do that. But it's going to be awesome weather. We have great prizes. It's for the American Cancer Society, and you could get involved the day of the event. You could call me. You could call Sand Springs. So anything in closing?
No, that's it. Hopefully we'll see everybody out here. Remember, if you can't come to golf, you can still come out, listen to the music, have some drinks, and have some great food.
Yeah, we'll be out there on the golf cart. I will be, and maybe I'll even golf a hole or two.
I hope you do. We'll see you out there.
All right. Thanks, everyone. And again, the Making a Difference 4th annual golf tournament is this Friday, and it's for the American Cancer Society.
Can't play golf in heels, I guess. Let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The daily is 436. The big 4, 9, 5, 5, 6, Quinto, 5, 3, 7, 3, 1, and the treasure hunt, 3, 13, 14, 19, 27. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. First tonight, the Hazleton Art League will be hosting Jazz Master Willie Mack on Sunday, May 19th at 1 p.m. Mack will be accompanied by the jazz group So What. Donations for the event are $5 for members and $10 for non-members. For more info, call 570-817-1075. And finally tonight, the Misericordia University family and members of the community are coming together Saturday, June 1st at Mohegan Sun at Pocono Downs at 7:30 for Michael A. McDowell's Watch Your Wallet Roast, a retirement celebration that will raise money for different projects. Tickets are available by calling 570-674-6418. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Cyril W. Cernak of Damascus, Maryland. Services were held Monday at St. Paul's Catholic Church in Maryland. The Molesworth Williams Funeral Home was in charge of arrangements. Justin J. Harris of Hazleton. Services Friday at 10 a.m. in the Huff and Lackcher Funeral Homes. Mass will be held Monday at noon at the St. John Bosco Church. Helena Koken of Hazleton. Arrangements will be announced by the Frank J. Bonin Funeral Home. And Donna M. Evans of Freeland. Services will be held Saturday at noon in the St. Paul's Evangelical Church. The McHugh Wilczek Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. and by Mia's. Once again, the Hazleton area's #1 rated restaurant. Call 570-501-3410 for information on luncheon packages.
SSP TV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr.
Well, there's some days where a cup of coffee is better than other days. And for Kyle Landis, the cup of coffee came yesterday, and actually the day before, 48-hour little snack with little mojo there. But here's the deal. He was called up to AAA, the Columbus Clippers, and that's great news because obviously the organization, when they had a need, decided to bring him up. They had a little problem with a disabled list factor and somebody that got called up to the Cleveland Indians. So what did they do? They reached down to Akron, their AA team, and brought Landis up. And take a look what he did. They got him in the game. He pitched 2 innings at AAA. This was against Pawtucket. He gave up just 1 hit, didn't walk anybody. So that means 1 guy got on base in 2 innings. He struck a batter out, so that is about as good as it gets. Now, I know it's only a small sample, but you got to believe somebody's paying attention to that, and maybe down the road it's going to pay some dividends. We'll wait and see. Now, Columbus, in extra innings, defeated Pawtucket 6-5 in that game, but the bottom line is this. Kyle Landis did get a game in the AAA level, and even though it was only that 1 game, he's going back to Akron. He'll be there for the weekend series that starts back in Akron. But he did get that, as we said, 1 look up there. And so we'll wait and see if down the road that pays any dividends. Here's our schedule for today. As you take a look at the minor league schedule, and that includes Norfolk being at home. They're red hot. Russ Kanzler's club did not play yesterday. They had the day off. That's the one I would like to see. How about a little matchup of former Hazleton Cougar teammates? Kanzler in the box, Landis on the mound. Wouldn't that be something? Anyhow, that's the minor league outlook. So we will wait and see how that goes. Let's fill in that the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Pens are going to be continuing Calder Cup action tonight at home. They'll be hosting Binghamton. They're off to a great start in the Calder Cup playoffs. Now let's go to the scoreboard from yesterday. Marion had no trouble putting away Weatherly as Anthony Augusti, he had a double, a single, so that looked pretty good. Meanwhile, David Klein went yard. Tony Hernandez pitched a no-hitter against Lake Lehman, and the Cougars rolled in their final crossover game. They made it easy, 14-0 over the Knights. Back to the Schuylkill League, where Shenandoah Valley in a slugfest edges Monoy. In softball action, Hazleton area once again had to rally. They were down, and it was looking like, oh boy, trouble again. Not to be. They came back with a nice rally and they defeated Coughlin 6-3. Meanwhile, Nativity, 8-0 shutout winners over MMI. And in probably the most well-played game of the afternoon, Marion, 2-1 winners over Schuylkill Haven, but it's one you can't figure out. They had 14 hits, only scored 2 runs. They committed 4 errors. Schuylkill Haven still only got 1 run, so you figure it all out. Volleyball, straight set winners, Hazleton over Hanover area. And in tennis, MMI knocks off Wyoming area. Track, well, this was the chance for the Cougars to move into first place and be in prime position to win the Wyoming Valley Conference. It did not happen. Despite the Cougars having some individual efforts that were worthy of note, Coughlin scored 94 points on them. They win. They're the only undefeated team in the league. Meanwhile, on the girls' side, Hazleton area had absolutely no trouble with the girls from Coughlin. Cassie Kozel put up some big numbers in their win over the Coughlin Crusaders. As far as what's going on today, on the diamond, MMI at Nanticoke, Tri-Valley at Monoy area, and Tamaqua at North Schuylkill. As far as softball, well, it's all Schuylkill League. Nativity hosting Monoy Marion with Shenandoah Valley, and North Schuylkill will entertain Tamaqua. News 13 Sports is sponsored by Sand Springs, featuring a world-class golf course as well as Celebrations, the area's most luxurious banquet and wedding facility.
Well, students from Tamaqua Middle School are working on a project that everybody in their town will be able to admire. It's a mural that sits right behind the Tamaqua Community Fire Station. Students have been practicing different painting skills and techniques for more than a year in anticipation of the project, but it involves more than just the school. The entire community is pictured in the mural, and 15 local businesses and individuals sponsor the project.
It's been a year in the planning, and it's so nice to be out here with such a talented group of 7th and 8th graders. It's a mural depicting historical, significant people, places, and things intermingled with things that are important to our community now.
That's really cool. Now, you can check it out any day, though it's especially lovely on a bright, sunny day like today. Just drive down Lafayette Street, and the community mural will be there in all its glory permanently. And plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. One local school district makes the grade in a big way. We'll tell you its huge distinction. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.